there, it's Jo coming to you with my 32-month update. It's been about 10 months since my last update, so thought I was due. I noticed over the holidays that I got a number of kind of emails coming through the blog and coming through the YouTube channel, just people curious what's going on, so I thought I'd stop and check in. A little bit about me. I had gastric sleeve surgery in May of 2012. I weighed 250.4 pounds. If you can believe it, I can't even remember the actual date I had surgery. So I remember there was a time I would have thought I'd never forget that date. I think it was the 20th or 21st, but I hadn't gone back and looked. So today in January of 2015, so under kind of 3 years later, holy smokes, I weighed in today at 149.1, which is a little high for me. So I thought people might be kind of interested in my weight journey. I have the Withings scale, which automatically connects to my iPhone. So every kind of morning when I hop on the scale, it actually automatically records it, which has been great for this journey because I can go back and see like where was I a year ago or where was I 6 months ago. So just for context, so surgery in May of 2012, the lowest I got was about 139 in March of 2013, so less than a year later. And then I bounced up in 2013, probably to about 143. And that was kind of the year that 143 sort of felt like my set point. My body really liked it. Like I would go on vacation and I'd go up a couple pounds and I'd come home and almost right back, like I'd go down to 143. I might ramp up exercise and I'd lose a couple pounds, but like my body liked 143. So that was a really livable weight for me. So then rewind like 1 year ago, so early 2014, I was 145.5. So that's kind of typical for me, like start of the year, after the holidays, I'd pack on a couple pounds. And I spent probably the first half of last year at like that 143 number. I got married in May and went on vacation and went on like a series of vacations. So I probably bounced up to like 147, kind of hung out there for a little. Then I got back down to like my 143 number. And then I had Thanksgiving and we went to Hawaii. And then Christmas and blah, 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 blah. And now, ta-da, here I am at 149. The highest I got was like 150. I might have even seen 151 on the scale. That was a little bit of a scary moment. Like I hadn't left the 140s and it sort of felt like, yeah, I could see myself losing weight. Like it would take me, gaining weight. I could see myself gaining weight. It would take me, like, I think a long time to gain 100 pounds, but I could see like how if you weren't kind of paying attention year over year, like you could easily gain 10 pounds without it being like that big of a deal, without going crazy with my eating. So I hit 151, kind of was like, holy moly, I need to get myself back on track. So I've just the last couple of days started tracking again on MyFitnessPal, and really interesting, like it made me eat less, like, and it made me make better choices. But even so, like I decided to just track for a few days to see like what was I doing and how did it look. And like I'm definitely getting in like 1700 calories a day without trying very hard, and actually probably pulling back like from the snacking. So, and I'm not exercising right now, so that explains like the number that I'm at. It's pretty simple math. It's pretty straightforward. So I'm tracking already. I'm down a couple pounds just in a couple days of tracking. I mean, that's how resilient like my body has become when I don't totally F it up. So let me just kind of then talk about like how I'm doing generally. So my eating habits, like without kind of paying attention over the holidays, because I generally eat like 5 meals a day, I noticed I started to, like, it felt like I was always eating, and I wasn't really eating the right stuff. Like, I find that meat is really hard for me and my stomach. I don't always portion control it still, like nearly 3 years out. I can eat too much of it and it makes me feel gross. And periodically, like as often as once every couple months, I would eat it too fast and it would make me throw up. Like I wouldn't have to throw up, but I'd almost choose to because it's really gross and it's like the slimies they call it. It's not cool. So I found I kind of was avoiding protein, and then instead I was eating like high carb stuff like crackers and popcorn. I don't know, just anything to eat, but that wasn't feeling those aren't the right foods. So in any event, I think like nighttime snacking in front of the TV, like all that stuff were just kind of habits that I got kind of lazy. And so now we're in January and I'm just kind of stepping back and going, all right, well, it's time to like get back in the mode of counting calories and being a little more careful. I'm not finding it hard. I just have to be conscious. And so like periodically checking in with tracking food and weighing myself like seems to work for me. Haven't been exercising since the fall. I'm not highly motivated to exercise. I'm just not. My husband's like the big motivator, and he stopped exercising when he got a new job where he's commuting like an hour and a half each way. He just can't fit it in. And lo and behold, like he stopped working out and I stopped working out. And so like the best kind of thing I guess I could share this far out is I wouldn't say it's difficult for me to maintain, but you have to have like your food and your exercise in balance. And so if I'm not going to exercise for a period, then I need to be a little bit better about my choices. Not like the strict like kale juice only diet. I just can't eat a bunch of crap all day long. And if I don't exercise and I eat crappy, like what do you know? The number starts to creep up. Equally, I think I could probably give myself a little more leeway with food if I was exercising. So my whole plan right now is just do the tracking. Mentally, it seems to kind of get me back on track because I go, holy moly, like I'm kind of off the rails. And then as we come into February, we're getting ready to move. So I think post-move, just bringing the workout back in. I think it's something I'll always struggle with. So 149, don't love it. Want to get back down to my 143 number. I'd love to drop a few more. But I think like by March, by the spring, I'm not in a hurry to do it. It'll come off as long as I'm diligent. So that's all I can kind of say about that. So just a couple other things I noticed are still trouble for me, which I've talked about in the past. I love wine. Like I still don't drink anything carbonated, so I don't drink beer and I don't drink soda. So alcohol wise, like it's just wine. And man, like I got a crazy brain, so it really calms me. But it's high calorie, and like I'll have a few glasses, and then wouldn't you know, those few glasses turn into snacking at night and eating more, and then like all of a sudden I've had 600, 700 extra calories. So yeah, no good. It's just something that I find like I kind of have to stay away from. And so I can indulge, but man, it cannot be a regular thing. I just can't control it. And then just the snacky stuff. Like all I can say is I like to snack. Snacky foods feel good on my little belly, and heavy, dense, high protein foods don't. And so it's finding those things that are decent, but a decent feeling, but aren't like hard on my stomach. I've had a real big problem with, I don't even know what it is. It's like, I guess it's like GERD, but I've basically been diagnosed with SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And it means that like a lot of foods would make me burp, like give me such gas, like painful in my stomach, and like burp, 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 burp. Like it's really gross. I'm not a big medication person, so I can take like a Prevacid or something, but I haven't been wanting to take that long term, so I'd stopped. And I really have figured out it's dairy for sure and carbs. And so wouldn't you know, like cheese and carbohydrates, snack foods, like that's what I love to eat, and it makes me feel like crap. So just making that link over time to finally accept, like I really can't do a lot of dairy, so I have to be careful with the cheese stuff. I can eat it and then I'm miserable and I'm burping and it's gross and I feel yucky and I'm crampy. So I've tried to really pull back on that stuff, and it's weird because I used to have like the iron stomach. I mean, I could eat anything, and I'm really sensitive now, and it sucks. I hate it, and yet if I have to choose between this and being 100 pounds heavier, like whatever, I'll burp all day long. So seems to be under control with the food, but it does kind of suck, and I think it does have something to do with the surgery. So what are you gonna do? I'll give you a body shot. I'm sure people are curious, like what 149 looks like. I'm 5'7". If it helps for context, I'm gonna kind of tip this a little. So here's me, just kind of in my jeans. So it's just kind of what I look like in clothes, if you will. Stomach wise, like I'll always have like the frowny face. I just accept that, like, without lipo, it will always exist, and I have, like, a sad belly button, but whatever. This is for sure the product of the 149. Like, that looks much better. This little guy, woo, looks much better when I am at 143. And same with, like, this. You can see that, like, just a little muffiny top stuff. And even, like, I notice a little in my arms, too. So it's just amazing. Like, I used to be able to gain 10 pounds without even noticing. And, you know, now not only do I notice, like, I know where it is. So that's that. That's my summary. 149, higher than I'd like to be. But you know what? Like, overall, it's 4 pounds up from a year ago. And I know I can get down. So it's even 2 pounds up from 6 months ago. But I think the trick is just not to go 4 pounds every year, and then holy crap, 10 years later you gain 50 pounds. So I just got to bring it back. And you know what? If I bring it back for the year, and a year from now I'm 149 again because I went down and went back up, like, I'll call that a win. So that's that. That's me. I hope everyone's doing well. If you have any questions, feel free to shoot them my way. And we'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye.